I've been sleeping pretty lousily the past, I guess, 6 or 7 months. I really don't have that much sleep. The longest that I've had is like maybe, 6 hours. And that's not straight 6 hours. It's usually an accumulated 6 hours of sleep. 2 hours here, 2 hours there, 2 hours later. I am always filled with thoughts that I can't seem to get out of my head. But last night, I had the best sleep of my life. I was able to sleep like 6 or 8 hours straight, nonstop, and I feel well rested. And I really believe it has nothing to do with me being tired from the trip. Rather, it's because I've had a satisfying conclusion to an otherwise hanging question I've had for like the past how many months. And it really was satisfying. May not be the result that I wanted or maybe fantasized about, but I can tell you wholeheartedly that it has been one hell of a ride, and I think it's just the apt conclusion to whatever story it was. I always likened my adventure to a book. Started out with me, maybe, thumbing through spines of books, and suddenly I stop at this kind of intriguing book. Take it out of the shelf, look at it, kind of, check the introduction. I was like, hey, this looks promising. Then before I freaking realize it, I'm already at the middle, and I can't stop. I can't put the book down, and I just keep on reading. But the funny thing about that book was, it's not yet finished. It was not even in the middle. Yet I saw a lot of edits, saw a lot of erasures, and there was a lot of rewriting involved in the process. And if anyone's gonna look at that book, they're gonna go like, what the F is wrong with the author? But still, it caught my attention, made me realize that there are a lot of blank pages that need writing on. So the story has not yet ended, nor has it reached its climax. I'm waiting for the denouement, but it's not even part of the climax. So I found myself thinking, what if I helped write that story? All of a sudden, I feel like drawn to this book that I can't even get out of it. It's like an adventure storybook that, you thumb from this page to that page, and then you go to another adventure. It was just like that. Just when you thought you already know what's going to happen in the next chapter, you're thrown in a completely opposite direction of what you expected. And that's where I found myself. In the middle of wanting to be part of writing on those blank pages and actually diving in and help being part of the story. However, that book was not meant for me to be written, or was I ever meant to be part of that book. And the funny thing is, it should be bothering me. I should be effing pissed off that things should, end this way, but I feel like everything's clear. And it's already what? It's about 7 in the morning. Last night I just flew in, and I feel like I feel like everything is clear for the first time in months. And it has something to do with, I guess, finally answering the question of what if. The what ifs were the ones weighing me down and making me think, or, think, and it has been really one hell of a ride. And being able to answer those what ifs was satisfyingly freeing. And this freedom that I am now experiencing is really exhilarating. It's actually more thrilling. And it is definitely an adventure that I never thought I would be in. And honestly, I never thought it was something I could do. But I guess I really am impulsive as a person. And now I don't know what limits I have when it comes to doing things for a girl that I like. It's just now I'm left with what is gonna be like the peak of this is what I can do for someone else. I am definitely in that situation right now. It's a scary thought. It's a scary prospect that, I don't know what I can really do for someone I like. I always thought that, renting a go-kart place just to go have a date with a girl was the craziest thing I could do, but apparently it wasn't. Yeah, it was not the craziest thing I could do. And the thing is, I never really had any inkling of how this person felt about me. I just went there. And I had no assurances that things would go the way that I wanted to be. I had zero indication that things will come out positively. Yet I still went and I still did what I wanted to do. And personally, I think that's just the safest way to go. That our lives are meant to be lived. You don't really have to stay beneath, the confines of your comfort zone. If you really want to experience life, if you really want to know what's out there, you have to be there. You have to put yourself out there. And that's what I did. For those people who are afraid of rejection, hey, fuck, I'm also afraid of rejection. Because it hurts. Fucking ego hurts, man. But you know what? It's also freeing. You may be proud of not being rejected. You may be proud of saying, I'm always good with what I have. And, not really going for what you wanted to do because you just wanted to be on the safe side. Taking risks is definitely part of daily living. And I took that fucking risk and now I'm free. It's just satisfying. And the funny thing is, I've always prided myself with a good batting rate when it comes to women. And I'm telling you, my batting rate is definitely taking a hit big time. It doesn't matter to me though. It really doesn't. What matters most is I was able to do what I wanted to do. That was what was actually holding me back. Not being able to express myself, not being able to actually do what I wanted to do for that person hindered my healing process, hindered my thought process. It really arrested me in such a spot. And I was not able to move forward. It felt constricting. It felt like I was being held back by some unseen forces, and that was not a good feeling on my end. Now that everything has been answered, I can feel like I can move forward. And that is one thing I'll never ever take away from this experience. The peace of mind that it afforded me is definitely worth everything. I guess closing sentiments on this long rant of mine is it really doesn't matter if you are going to be getting what you want. There is a reason for you not getting what you want. There's also a reason for getting what you want. I mean, there's always a reason for everything. It's just up to you to go find it. It's always up to you to actually figure things out. You may not like the result. You may not like the lesson that is being taught, or rather being taught by the experience, but at the end of the day, it is for your benefit. You know what they say, trust the process, right? And I am definitely trusting the process because so far it has worked for me. So this is not something that, I guess it is kind of too fast, but I think I have reached that age that if a person doesn't, really like you, well, it would hurt I guess it hurt for a couple of hours, but at the end of the day, it's just like going around a grocery aisle and, why did you pick brand A over brand B? If they have the exact same nutrients, if they have the exact same ingredients, why did you pick, brand A from brand B? I mean, it might be the packaging, it might be the taste, it might be something else, but there's definitely a reason why you were not picked. And that doesn't make me less of a person. And it doesn't make the other party less of a person either. It's just that, there are things that are not really going to mesh out, and we just have to accept that fact. So, I'm really just ranting. I really am just, vomiting words that actually don't have any meaning. But what I'm trying to say, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is there's always a reason for everything. And you may not really like it at that exact same moment that it was presented to you. But somewhere down the road, you will figure things out and go like, ooh, light bulb moment. Maybe that's the reason why things didn't work out with so-and-so. And I trust that. I definitely do. Even if I think, even if you think that you are the best person for whatever it is, if you think you're the best person for that person, if you think you're the best person for that particular career, if you think you're the best person for that particular situation, then yeah, sure, maybe it is. It is. But sometimes it just isn't meant to be. Cliched, I know, but there's no other way to explain things. So this is just me trying to process my thoughts and definitely woke up with a new perspective in life and a new appreciation for myself. I found that I respect myself too much, I guess. And if ever you're watching this, just if ever, I don't want you to feel guilty or sad or bad about whatever happened. I definitely think that it was one hell of a ride. It was definitely one hell of a roller coaster ride. But the most important thing is there are no ill feelings, and I guess it's actually good that we did this. Glad I was able to find things out, and thank you for giving the opportunity to answer all my questions. Yeah, sure, I still have a few gazillion questions in my head, but hey, doesn't matter at this point. At least the major questions were answered and cleared out. And for that, I'm thankful. See you around. Definitely see you around. And I hope everything is fine. in the world in general. So, ciao.